Hey booktube, Aaron here, how you all doing? I hope you all had a really good week. Yeah, it's Friday, so I thought I'd give you an update on my reading. I got 3 books finished this week, which is quite good, but it hasn't really been the greatest of reading weeks, but I'll get into that later. But before I talk about the books, I thought I'd just give, a bit of an update on what I'm thinking of doing regarding the sort of output of the channel, just what I can commit to, and what I think will, play to my strengths maybe, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a video on Tuesdays, so probably a tag video for Tag Tuesday, but if I don't have a tag to do, then I will, I'll just think of something else, I guess. And then Fridays will be kind of like Friday Reads, I guess. Probably won't be the traditional Friday Reads. It'll be more sort of looking at one book in particular, but I might give a rough update, but I want to try and concentrate on one book every week. And then every weekend I want to look at a poem. I'll probably start this next weekend, because I haven't really thought of one to do this weekend and I'm running out of time. So I'll think about it and try and get started next weekend. And this was just because of a commenter on my PoetryTube newbie tag video. We just talk about poetry, and they said that kind of since school, and they've been just trying to think what poetry works for them, and I think they said it was kind of like candy floss, that they enjoy kind of watching it and being made, and they enjoy sort of the experience of it, but it doesn't fill them up, which I thought was kind of funny. So I just thought every week we could just look at a poem, and just from a wide range, some classic poems, some more contemporary poems, some potentially overlooked poems. We'll see what we find. And any suggestions for that, just pop them in the comments really, because I'd be glad to see what kind of poems you guys might want to talk about. And maybe the person actually suggested that I should start a Discord for suggesting poetry and talking about poetry. So maybe in the future that's something I might do. But let me know what you think. Otherwise, I think I'll just jump right into the books. So, first book I finished this week was Bleak by Charles Dickens. It took me about a month to read, like the whole of April, but I really enjoyed it. I just love to immerse myself in it. And I think I'll do a separate video about my thoughts on Bleak House, and we'll probably get it up some point in the next week. I think I'd recommend this if you haven't read it, if you have the time. I think it's a great book, and one of my favourite Dickens books that I've read so far. And then after that I wanted something with a slightly different tone, something a bit shorter, and this is on my shelf. It's The Hearing Trumpet by Leonora Carrington. And again, I'll probably do a separate video about this, but I didn't really like this. So Leonora Carrington, she's primarily known as a surrealist painter, and I would say that she's probably better as a surrealist painter. This was just kind of all over the place. The tone of the writing didn't really fit what was actually going on, and it seemed like she was trying to do too much at once. I'll probably get into that a bit more in a separate video. That was the Hearing Trumpet by Leonora Carrington. I read it fairly quickly. It's only quite short, so I just read it in maybe 2 or 3 sittings over the course of 2 days. Interesting, but it didn't really do it for me. And then I've been getting on with the Other Tiger. Where's it gone? Here it is. The Other Tiger. This collection of an anthology of Latin American poetry. I've only kind of been dipping in and out of it. It's not been the greatest reading week. Been a bit distracted. I'm sure I'll update you at some point soon with my progress on this. But then I also read this week another classic book Another book that I don't necessarily want to talk too much about, but I thought I'd go a bit deeper into, and that's The Old Man and the Sea by Hemingway. And I've read a fair few of his books, and yeah, I mean, it's a solid, decent Hemingway book. I probably didn't enjoy it as much as, say, A Farewell to Arms or For Whom the Bell Tolls. I think they were a bit more my cup of tea, but I probably would put it over to Have and Have Not, and maybe even The Sun Also Rises actually, but it's been a while since I read The Sun Also Rises. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this, and yeah, I found it actually quite interesting. I think there's just a lot of interesting stuff. The first thing I noticed was just the introduction to the book. It kind of reminded me of just like the first line, or the first few lines of The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. You know, it is an ancient mariner. You stop with one of three, and yeah, it seemed to be kind of echoing that a bit, maybe. So I think like just kind of part of the first sentence of The Old Man and the Sea is, "He was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream," and yeah, I don't know. It's not obviously it's different, but yeah, it seems to be at least kind of referencing it or nodding it a bit. And I think a lot of the themes between The Old Man and the Sea and The Rime of the Ancient Mariner are quite similar, really, and that I think they are books about transgression, about going too far, about I suppose crimes against nature, and with that kind of theme in mind, kind of crimes against nature, there's just one passage kind of fairly early on, and he's talking about his I guess his relationship to the sea. That's the old man, yeah, I just found it really interesting. And this old man is he's a widow, and he doesn't put his picture of his wife up on the wall. He has it sort of hidden amongst his things, just because seeing it makes him feel lonely. And with that in mind, I found this passage particularly moving in a way. Yeah, so he's thinking about birds, and for some reason he's noticed that birds don't seem to be as strong as they used to, maybe, or something like that. Yeah, and this is what he's thinking. "Why do they make birds so delicate and fine as those sea swallows, when the ocean can be so cruel? She's kind and very beautiful, but she can be so cruel, and it comes so suddenly, and such birds that fly, dipping and hunting with their small sad voices, are made too delicately for the sea." They always thought of the sea as la mar, which is what people call her in Spanish when they love her. Sometimes those who love her say bad things of her, but they are always said as though she were a woman. Some of the younger fishermen, those who used buoys as floats for their lines and had motorboats, bought when the shark lovers had brought them much money, spoke of her as Elmar, which is masculine. They spoke of her as a contestant or a place or even an enemy. But the old man always thought of her as feminine and as something that gave or withheld great favours. Yeah, so I was thinking that this book is sort of a book about transgressions. He goes out and he's desperate. He's had something like 84 days where he hasn't caught anything. So he's going to go out, and he's going out as far as he can, further than he normally does, because he wants to catch something big and he wants it to be meaningful. And I won't spoil exactly what happens, but it doesn't go to plan. And yeah, so like the Ancient Mariner, it seems to be that he's crossed a boundary. He's perhaps committed a crime against nature, just taken one step too far. And it does make me think of, well, how far have we gone right now? And I don't really know what else really to say after that. But yeah, it did make me think of the present moment, of the way we're treating the planet at the moment. And yeah, although I'm not sure if this is something that Hemingway was necessarily thinking about. Definitely might have been something that Coleridge was thinking about when he wrote The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And it's just so striking that these books, or these works of literature, that are quite old now, are still quite telling for our time. That in a way, as a species, we haven't really changed. We're still pushing things as far as we can go. And at some point we're gonna pay the cost for it, I guess. But anyway, that was my week in reading. Otherwise the weather's good, so that's a plus. Hope I didn't bum you out too much with my reflections on the book. I'm not sure how it's gonna fit together as a video. But anyway, I'll probably see you Tuesday for a tag. I might try and get the Bleak House review and maybe the Hearing Trumpet review out soon. But let me know what you thought, if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, and just get talking in the comments if you want to. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Have a great weekend. Look after yourself. Alright, take care. Bye bye.